Yesterday we got the treadmill up to almost 2.7 miles an hour. I kept on dipping it back just a point, but we'll see what happens today. The idea is to try to step it up every day that we're here, and we're doing this 6 days a week so far. But thank you for coming in, because you make it much easier for me to stay motivated to show up and hopefully step it up as well. Jaden, my dear brother, thank you for coming in. It's always good to see you in the house. Today's a bit of a bigger day. I got Tuber Chat will be on in a couple of hours, and then right after that I have an interview with Cheetah Will View, who's a longtime friend, and it'll be my second time actually joining him on his channel. He does a really thoughtful job with interviewing different, he interviews all kinds of people. He interviews singers, actors, producers, directors, YouTubers, and just about anybody that has something interesting to say. So what I find is that most often when I do interviews like that, they turn into just friendly conversations, because I usually have some kind of history of rapport with the interviewer. Gabriella, thank you for coming in. Cooking with Miss Brown, good to see you here. Thank you for coming in again. And have Cheetah Will View and I have known each other for a long time, but he is somebody who has reached out many times. We've had a lot of interaction on Instagram and things like that. He's hung out with me on all of my channels. We did an interview once before, but like I said, it turns into friendly conversation. The difference there is that he does a very thoughtful job of starting off with different types of questions than would typically be done, because when I do interviews, most often people ask questions about YouTube, which is great because I love talking about it, and we get into deeper things than I can on Tuber Chat or anywhere else. But he does a different kind of job and got a little more into history of how did that become. So I'm interested to see what he's got planned for today. And then Gabriella, I'm doing well. Hopefully you are as well. Hopefully everybody in the chat is. I didn't know what time I'd get on today, so I set the stream really late and then just figured I'll hop on when it's time. It's best to be as accurate as you can, just because then you get the benefit of the 30-minute notifications if they work, which obviously I won't get that today. Start stepping this thing up already. See if we can get this thing back to 2.7 and maybe just stay there for the day, and then I'll think about stepping it up tomorrow. The Stock Explorer, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. The Stock Explorer, we gonna try a raid tomorrow? We were about to raid the Stock Explorer the other day, and I had something happen and I had to jump off the treadmill 10 minutes early. We made it up the next day, but perhaps tomorrow we'll make it up for the Stock Explorer. Hopefully I'm up and at 'em early enough. What time do you want to start the Stock Explorer? And Home Bartending with John, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming back in. So we made it. They say the hardest part is getting there, and we're here 11 times now out of 12 days. So that's great, I think, or something like that anyway. So with the exception only of Fridays. I'm still gonna try to sort that out, but you start at 9:30 a.m. Maybe I can push myself tomorrow to get up and move it. I'll get enough sleep tonight. I got enough sleep yesterday. I was actually up almost on time today. I try not to get up later than 8. And I did wake up on time. It's like the eternal clock after months of getting up at the same time. You know, you kind of get used to it, right? I typically have gotten up somewhere between 7, 8, or 9 for the last many years. And I would love to be able to scale back so that I can live on 7 solid hours of sleep. But I've never been able to. I always need that 8 hours. I'm just not 100% if I don't have it. I wish that wasn't the case, but we'll see. So I don't need this thing on me. Let's see what we're got going on in the chat. Oh, okay, the Stock Explorer. Oh, dogs are up, yeah, that early. Of course, yeah. Yeah, we have cats here, and they do the same thing. They're yelping through the house. One of them is, anyway. When it's time to eat or time for treats or things like that, they know their schedule. I'm not pumping this up as fast as I should. But we'll get back to 2.7 for today. Yesterday was weird, and I don't know if it's just from missing a day. I'm not here Fridays, but I could barely speak, huffing and puffing and everything else. Tony, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to try to be more consistent about the time. I think the truth is it doesn't matter. When, as long as we get here, we get here. But as long as I'm doing it. But I would like to be more consistent because if I don't set a time and hit it properly, then we lose the notifications, right? The 30-minute notifications if they want to work. Streamlabs is working. Hopefully I remember to fix the stream elements properly. I did it, but we'll see if it works. When you go into these robots and set those timers, they give you a character count, but it's not accurate. They allow you to put more characters than YouTube allows in a message. So I had to step one of them back, but we'll see. I love the robots because they first of all take pressure off the moderators, so the moderators can hopefully enjoy their time and not just be moderating the whole time. But then as well, you can get a lot of messages out that you otherwise might not bother with, right? Now those, I gotta set another thing now. Hey Siri, remind me to fix the timer on Streamlabs. There's a setting. Oh, it's not. Hey Siri, remind me today at 8 p.m. to fix the timer on SL.
Okay, added to today's reminder.
Siri got confused because it wants to try to hit the app. And so there's a setting you can put in those timers to say that there must be a certain number of lines in the chat before another timer will show, regardless of when it's supposed to show, so that it doesn't spam, right? Because those Streamlab ones, they bang into each other, as you can see. They don't wait. Scratch and PPA, my dear friend, thank you for coming in. Stream Elements is the best of those robots because it spaces out those timers no matter what. I don't know why the other companies don't learn from Stream Elements. You'll notice that Stream Elements, if it's done right, never runs into itself. But you can compress messages too. You don't have to send one that says follow me on Twitter, and another one that says follow me on Facebook, and another one that says follow me on TikTok. You could do it all in one, especially if your name is the same everywhere. On TikTok, mine is not, My personal one is always Kevin Kaye, but I didn't get to TikTok early enough, so my name was gone. Kevin Kaye is a popular actual name. There's an actor, at least one DJ, if not two, not including myself, and then it's just generally a popular name. So I have to be DJ Kevin Kaye on MySpace, Pinterest, and TikTok. Hopefully everybody's doing okay today. I gotta get this thing pumped up. I'm not watching what I'm doing. We're only at 2.5 now. I want to get this thing up to 2.6. Oh, and now I didn't watch the time either. I didn't reset the time on the treadmill. I don't know what I can do about that. We'll estimate. There's a command you can put in the robots called, or the chatbots called uptime, and it'll tell you how long you've been streaming for. I should maybe add that in. John H. Shelton, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Well, you know what would be even better, Gabriella, is I'm hoping eventually to do some outdoor streams. So I looked at the weather this morning and said it's -6. Which I'm not expecting rain or snow, but I also didn't bring with me or have prepared the right clothing to be able to guarantee an hour in -6 weather. Not to mention, once you get beyond that temperature, the phone will possibly freeze and you'll lose the stream. I've had that happen before. I wouldn't put a heater on the phone, but you can put a cooler on it for when it's in the summer or when you're in a warmer climate. And it's essential. Phones freeze, they overheat. You gotta think about this stuff while we're doing what we're doing, or we can lose the stream. It's happened many times. And then thank you everybody for hanging out, because you make it easier to be motivated to make it for these streams. I look forward to the stream more than the treadmill, of course. Phase Yoda Phase King, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. It's another longtime friend. And again today, I got a big day because first of all, Tuber Chat will be in an hour and a half or so, 2 hours almost. And then right after that, have Cheetah Will View, who's a longtime friend, and I'll be doing my second interview on his channel. So that should be a good time. It's much more laid back than I usually can be, right? I'm curious to see what he's got in store because he prepares and does a really thoughtful job. So the first time I joined him for an interview, we talked more about my history and beginnings and what led me into the things I do on YouTube, which I thought was kind of cool, as opposed to talking about a lot of the detail and things like that. So I don't know what he has in store for today. Collaborating like that can be a great way to grow your audience, and his video did really well. That live stream interviews and things like that, when it's us joining each other, let's say, don't always expect over 1,000 views and stuff like that, but that one had 700 I think before too long. I've lost count now. I should go look before we do our thing today and see how far that one went. Oh, so I'm pumping this thing up to 2.7. I forgot the fan again. Every day I forget this. See, I wondered yesterday, why is it so hard to do what I'm doing? Because 2.7 miles an hour is not that fast, as you can see. This is probably the pace I walk at, or a little, just barely slower than this when I'm out walking in general. I tend to walk fast. But yesterday I was sweating and huffing and puffing and couldn't speak and everything else. I gotta try to remember. Yeah, let me get Siri on the case. Hey Siri, remind me today at 8 p.m. to set up the fan. Michael's Adventures comes in here, he'll be laughing because he knows I make notes for myself and then I don't read them. Oh, thank you, Jaden. So yeah, I'm well over 700 views that last interview got. We'll see what happens today. Of course, I'm going to try to push it as much as I can. When we first get on his thing, I'll try to remember to share it everywhere. Facebook page, Facebook group, Facebook profile. I got a tweet set to go, Reddit set to go. Have to make an Instagram story. One of these days when I do these tutorials that I keep talking about, I should do a checklist for everybody to see where the stuff can be shared out easily. What I should have done was got him to do a promo, or we could have done one together somehow where it could be posted as a story or Instagram or TikTok. But continue after all these years to live and learn, right? What's involved cooking with Miss Brown in a traditional Jamaican Sunday dinner? In North America, I think a lot of people will have roast beef and mashed potatoes and a couple of vegetables, maybe corn and either beans or whatever seasonal. I'm curious to know what a traditional Jamaican Sunday dinner would consist of. I forgot to do the roll call. That's what we need. I don't see Bautissimo answering right now, but they were in the chat earlier. There they are. We're gonna see how we feel tonight. We might go out for dinner. There's this franchise in at least Ontario. I don't know if it spans any farther. And I always forget what the franchise used to be called. I think it was Krabby Joe's. But anyway, they are called Chuck's Roadhouse. And it has a lot of the standard stuff you'd expect. So they do like chicken parmesan. I had it once, it wasn't impressive, but they have steaks and burgers and some seafood and things like that. But it's really inexpensive. It's kind of astonishing how inexpensive it is. So they're relying on volume, but the place is always busy. We go there often. They have some wicked deals too. Like, their deals are so good that they have to put in place limits. So they have this thing where they have half price apps after 9 p.m., but you can only have one app with every drink ordered because people are going in there ordering tables of apps. We do it. But anyway, Kristen, Karen, and I might go out tonight for dinner. Kara might even drive, actually. They, depending when the sun goes down, she got her license the other day. Her first step. In Ontario, they've really changed the process. So it seems to take like almost 2 years before you can get fully licensed. There's heavy restrictions. Rice and peas with whatever meat of choice. Some people overdo it. Oh, Thanksgiving. Interesting. Yes, cooking with Miss Brown. The Linktree page. Are you talking about myself, Tony? I haven't put up a Linktree, but I probably should, just in case anybody wanted to look. But it's always Kevin Kaye. So I've been on social media my whole adult life, like since CompuServe, AOL, Friendster, MySpace, and all that stuff. So when you type Kevin Kaye, for almost everyone in the world, I should come up first on every network, regardless of the name. Dude Classic, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Gabriella's been to Ontario. Yeah, Tony, I should think about it. I haven't put that up yet. So one of the things that is a thought, right? I used to do websites full time as well. I've always been self-employed, but I used to do websites for small businesses and stuff. I had a DJ company, an electrician, a limo company, a comedian, a real estate agent, a lumber company, like a nice list of great clients actually. So I did a bunch of their websites back in 1999 or 2000 or whatever it was, right? But one of the things that we learned is that you want the least amount of friction online, and what that means online is least number of clicks to get to your destination. So when somebody's gotten to your website or whatever, they want what they want within one click. And if it takes more than 3, you basically lose them. So when it comes to Linktree, and even some of the sponsored stuff like, why can't I remember the name of it? There's a sponsor thing, and what you do is it's like Linktree. So you put all your sponsor links in this thing, and it automatically sends everybody where they're supposed to go and make sure that you don't miss any. But you have to tell people to click on it. So you're already one click in, even getting there. So I have to do way too much measuring to figure out whether that's worth it. But when it comes to people following on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that, it's not that detrimental. So it's probably a good idea. Actually, let me think about it right now. Hey Siri, remind me tonight at 8 p.m. to set up Linktree. I might have already set one up for myself or for Tuber Chat or probably the music channel, but just not necessarily using it. What those things are good for, it's like link in bio or whatever they call those, where a lot of people do it on Instagram, because Instagram doesn't allow links if you don't have 10,000 people, except in stories now. In stories you can. I don't know if there's a limit. I don't know if you have to have 1,000 or not. I think not. And then Derek's Journey, thank you. Yes, we made it. I hear the hardest part is getting there, so we made it. Oh, not Reddit. So, oh yeah, well I'm on Reddit, Jaden, but for Reddit I have my own profile. I'm actually for 2022, I'm in the top 9% of all people on Reddit for sharing. I shared over 2,000 links in 2022. They give you this recap thing. I should pull it out and see, but that was interesting. Interesting to see. Top 9% on a website that's that big is no joke. But so the community is for Tuber Chat because we could put anything in there, and then you get your own personal profile, and that's how people identify you on Reddit. I don't use Reddit for anything else though. I try not to get sucked into that like I do on Twitter, where I start reading it for 20 minutes or half an hour. It's really easy. Reddit's been around a long time, and it can be known as a very angry place if you put things in the wrong directories and stuff. Oh, Derek's Journey's doing Walk Live. Yeah, I've done a lot of outdoor live streaming. And I wish that I could do this outside, but our Canadian weather gives me the excuse to not do it. But I needed to do something. I got to start walking. I can feel, even in the last month with less activity, feeling more lethargic and back pain from sitting too much and things like that. One of the problems is my chairs. I haven't replaced my desk chairs in probably 5 years. And for those of you who don't know, the thing in a desk chair that raises and lowers feels like hydraulics or something. It's actually called a gas cylinder. And those things can go after a while. They have less pressure and your chair is not as comfortable. My one at work was actually sinking. It wouldn't stay up. That was a real headache. So I replaced one of them the other day, but I found out that you can replace just the gas cylinder. So instead of buying a $200 chair, don't forget I'm in Canada, so that means more like $150, but $200 chair, you can get a $30 gas cylinder from Amazon. And if you get a rubber mallet and smash your legs and top off the chair, you can actually replace the thing, and it's not that hard, apparently. So I have yet to do that. Whew. Thanks everybody for being here. Yeah, tone those robots down, they're like spamming. Don't really need it to hammer everything that much. You can set the robots to drop a message every certain number of minutes. I have stream elements set on 3 minutes now, but it's too tight for this chat. Knock it back down. These streams are usually an hour, so if you had 10 messages and had them go out every 5 or 6 minutes, then you'd get every message out once in the hour. So that might be a better setting than what I've got right now. I got to see, Derek's Journey does this thing called the Steps Challenge, and my understanding is you're just trying to beat your record each day. And because I haven't sorted out my Friday situation yet, I use that as an excuse for not hopping in there. I think he does it every other month, right? So I'll try to make sure I know what I'm talking about and then head over there the next time if I can. Gabriella still in the house. First floor audio, Lee, good to see you here. This guy was singing like crazy. I couldn't tell if that was you singing, Lee, or who was behind you. I should know by now because I'm pretty sure it was Lee. He was singing Caribbean Queen from Billy Ocean while I was able to listen. A lot of times I run a stream So I hop in, I'm there for a few minutes interacting with everybody, saying hello, and then depending on what I'm working on the computer, I might turn the volume down and just let it run. Yeah, that was something else. He was doing a much faster rendition than the original, but it was interesting to see how naturally he's able to just hop into a song, eh? I never learned to play any instrument, even though I took music. I played trumpet for years and then eventually was the high school drummer, but I never became so proficient that I could just hop into any song. And I certainly don't sing. I can talk, but singing is another story. Right, there you go. Derek's journey. Everybody just, I guess, does it to motivate each other, right? More people involved is motivating. Oh, I see. I see first floor audio. I should know that by now, but Gabriella's wondering who's all working today on Sunday. Yeah, Lee, you're right. Goes on endlessly, never stops either. I'm on the phone when I can be. I work with a guy who talks as much as I do. So the two of us, you can imagine, it doesn't stop almost 16 hours a day. But even Kristen gets to hear it when I'm done. Doesn't matter whether it's Tuber Chat or here, I'm still talking YouTube after hours of it. Even today, I know what will happen. So we're doing this stream now. Short break. We'll go on Tuber Chat for 2.5 hours. We'll go on have Cheetah will view for somewhere between an hour and 2 hours. And then I'll still be talking Kristen's ear off about YouTube afterwards. But at least we know it's a passion, right? Will Spirit Productions, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. She's been doing marathon streams for a while there. I wonder if Will Spirit Productions is on today. Oh, off from streaming today. Oh, parked for the day, Will Spare Productions. Yeah, she does a lot of posting videos too. Kid Wonder, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Just about everybody knows Kid Wonder. He's been with me for over 3 years now. On every channel. On that channel he's in here with right now, Gaming and Live Stream, I actually played him in a game of 8-ball pool. So it's like a pool table game, and it's on the phone. But it was just ironic because I've played that game for years. We have a company in Toronto called Yukon Games, and they're big. They do a Jeopardy, they do a bingo type game, and they do Kings of Pool, which is the same type of game. But 8-ball pool was one that I had found a long time ago, and not that I love pool any more than anybody else, just a lazy, laid-back game to play. And when I saw Kid Wonder start to play that game, I was joking for a while, hey, we should compete. So we did. I caught him one day just when he was starting a stream. So I got in there and we played for about an hour. There you go. There you go, First Floor Audio. Can you schedule on Facebook? So Jaden, you can schedule in groups and pages, but not on a personal profile. Personal profiles are meant to be in the here and now, but businesses and groups, because they're controlled usually by either influencers or organizations or companies, they allow scheduling for them. There's ways to do it. You can use a third party like Buffer or Hootsuite to schedule on Facebook, I believe still. I haven't done it in a long time. But the networks, each social network wants things posted on their native platform more so than through third parties. So I got this automated system going now where it's able to take anything that you want and put it on a rotating schedule. So let's say with your YouTube videos, if you had 30 videos, you could schedule this out to post a video every day, and every month it would just repeat. And it's a bit of work, but I've been dying for something like that for pretty much decades, and it's here, so I have it running. If you look at my DJ Kevin Kaye Facebook page or my Twitter profile, you'll see what I'm talking about. Every day it posts something. And that uses third-party stuff, of course, but I plan to show that to everybody as well. It's more of an advanced idea than simply scheduling on Twitter or Facebook. I see something. Twitter might have changed something. When I did the post for Twitter today, I tagged Have Cheetah Will View in it, and it still allowed me to schedule. I haven't been tagging people for a while because there was this thing where it won't allow you to tag and schedule at the same time. But I don't know if that's just, I don't remember if it's just tagging in general in the post or if it's tagging in a photo attached to the post. So now I gotta go and experiment with that and see. I expect to redo the Instagram and Twitter, like how to post your YouTube videos tutorials. They did not too badly on my personal channel, but I expect them to do very well on Tuber Chat when I get them done. I'll do one for each network, and then the idea is that every time those networks change something and the tutorial needs to be updated, I'll update it. I gotta pause again. I'll be back in another minute here, and we'll pick back up where we left off. You talking to me?
Yeah.
You're taking care of it in a second? All right. Forgive me for that. We'll pick up where we left off. This treadmill is like a home one, so it takes a moment to get up to speed. There's Kristen right there, my love, of course. Oh, is that Corinne's life? Yeah. Good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. It's funny, you know, we can talk about the younger generation, but I wonder about some of the motivation in the age group around 20 to 30 right now, especially early 20s, not wanting to get their licenses. I don't understand. If I remember right, I think I didn't get my license until I was 19. But, and I didn't remember that for a long time. I could be mistaken, somewhere around there, 18, 19, call it 19. But it's a bigger process now. I wonder if that's part of it. Because when I was young enough, in Ontario, we could get our driver's license on our 16th birthday. If you go on your 16th birthday and pass the test, you're fully licensed. That's it and that's all. But now, they've changed it to a graduated system. So you go and you get a permit for, or I think it's called G1 license for 8 months or a year. Then you get a G2 license for probably another 8 months or a year. I really don't know. And then you can get fully licensed after that. So I think that's a move towards raising the age. A friend of mine, 29. Yeah. I had a friend when I was quite young, when I was 16. This guy was 19. I was actually friends with his brother. So I guess earlier than that, we were in grade 9 together. As soon as we entered high school, you know, sometimes you latch on to a friend right away. So me and this guy would hang out, but he had an older brother. I became more friends with his older brother after a period of time. But his brother had not only a car, but he also had a bike. So we all had bikes, but we'd ride them wherever. And what this guy did was put a map of Toronto, and there's another city not too far to the northwest called Brampton, and he put a map of each of those cities on his bedroom walls, you know, which it looks exactly like you'd expect. But when this guy needed to go anywhere, he would just point to the map, knew exactly the route to take. So I ended up doing somewhat the same thing. And we would be all over the place all the time. One of the classes I took in high school was an auto shop class. Not that that matters, but a friend of mine, another friend was in there. We became friends because this guy was apparently a DJ. My sister was in another class with him, and we ended up in a class together, and my sister mentioned, oh, you should like meet this guy because he's a DJ. You both will probably get along and this and that. Sure enough, I ended up being best man at his wedding later on and this and that. But this guy, when I met him, he found out I could drive, and he's like, why are you not at the record store every Thursday? We gotta go. And I started going to the record store consistently after that. I used to occasionally skip classes to go to the record store, but it was sporadic, and you could always go on Saturday. Oh, there you go, Will Spirit Productions. Yeah, I got my license. I didn't have a car for a while. My grandparents had left a little bit of money after they, well, it was a lot of money at the time, but to somebody my age, but they left a little bit, and I was thankful for that. But I was able to use some of that for a down payment for my first car of my own, which was actually a minivan, but it was a cargo van, which means same as a minivan. I forget what they used to call it, Dodge Caravan. And it was, there was no interior, right? So when you get inside, the cab has seats and stuff, but the back's all metal. And that was meant, because I knew I was going to be a DJ, or was already, and I'd be carting some kind of equipment around. I had these speakers, and you know, now there's millions of types of speakers, but I had these Serwin Vegas, and they were called MV15s. So you can go back and look at the model number, and you'll see that that's like 1990-ish, 1991, 92, somewhere around there. And they were meant for DJing, but I put them in the van. They're so big that you couldn't put them side by side in the back of the van. You had to lay one down. And I got a Clarion deck, which really wasn't that expensive. It was $250 Canadian at the time, if I remember right. But again, that's 1990 something. And these speakers and that system was so clear, crisp and clean. Not like when you see a car driving down the street, they got the bass going and it's just, you know, the speakers are basically just farting the whole way down the street. This thing was crisp, and I swear that van used to bounce down the street with those speakers. Very unconventional, but almost hilarious. Oh, Skylark, really? Ah. Oh no. Yeah, I smashed my first car. It was raining and I ran into somebody from behind. I've been in a couple accidents. Not for a long time, thank goodness. Knock on wood. Or closest thing to wood I can find. Actually, Kristen and I got into an accident once together. I was driving my mom's car, so I must have already destroyed my own. And we had just met, but we were driving, and she lived in Shelburne, which is a town hour and a half maybe northwest of Toronto. And I was working at a radio station that had its studio in Orangeville. So anyway, the expectation was driving her and her friend home and then go back to work. And we got partway there, spun out, maybe black ice, I don't know. And transport truck was coming the other way, and we literally like spun across the street while the truck went right by us. It was very close and just awful, but not much damage. There was so much snow on the ground that when the car bounced off of the guardrails, it barely got scratched because the snow cushioned the smash, if that makes sense. I probably overpaid for my van. My Dodge Caravan. I don't remember what year it was, but it was $5,000 when I bought it. I put $2,000 down as whatever age I was at the time, 19, 20, 21. Oh goodness. It's really, I know we talk about prices of everything skyrocketing this year, but it really has gotten insane. I was about to buy a car last year, and if you could believe this, I went into the Toyota dealership, told them exactly what I wanted, which is just a Corolla, but a base model. I already have a truck, so I intend to keep that forever. The idea was to have a car for 9 or 10 or 12, 8 or 9 months of the year, and then bring the truck out in the winter. But they put the order in, and then called me about 4 months later, or texted me, said, come and get your deposit, we can't get your car. And I think it's just because I wanted a base model, which would have been just barely around 20,000 at the time. But if you look on the website now, I think even Canadian, they're 26 starting or something like that. So nice 20% bump in 1 year. Yet the government tells us inflation. I got some warning. Oh, I got to double check that. That's irresponsible. Michael's Adventures. Yeah, the reason Corinne's Life that I'm even doing this, I gained 7 pounds last year around this time, all at once. And I kind of got a little upset about it because I was floating at a weight for about a year, and then all of a sudden jumped. So I went for a physical, and the doctor said, you got to start walking. There's nothing wrong, you just got to walk now. And so he says, walk an hour a day, that's enough. You don't have to work out, you don't have to run, you don't have to, do anything else, just make sure you walk. So that's what prompted this eventually. And then, I'd love to get it up to 10,000 steps a day. It's nowhere near, which I'm surprised. I'm not walking that fast, as you can see. Doing 2.7 miles an hour right now. But the steps have only been around 6, 7, 8,000. Hopefully we'll step that up. Michael's Adventures typically does 20,000 just at work every day. Oh, think so, the Stock Explorer. They were gonna split. Or did they split? Did they split and I missed it? Yeah, movement is the key. So, I'd love to do more entertaining things and go outside. So we'll see, we'll keep an eye on that. Thinking about other ways to stream too, like GoPro. Jeff's getting an 11, or he's got it, we have to unbox it and all that. I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. By the time you get a GoPro 11, the creator kit and enough to really be comfortable streaming, it's just about $1,000 Canadian. That's a handful of money for a GoPro that you like to think of as being $400. It's just not. I bought a 5. I still have it, but you can't go live with it easily, and everything I've tried is a disaster. He has, I think, an 8 and a 9, or a 7 and an 8, or whatever it is, and I tried going live with those and couldn't get those to do it properly. Kristen got me a gimbal a while back for GoPro. Still got to do a unboxing and review of that too. It's one of the list of 10 or 15 things I still have to do. Oh, I see. Will Spirit Productions. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know how accurate the thing is. For Will Spirit Productions, that's detrimental because they're in the truck for hours at a time, right? Must be 11 hours. But I'm just looking at a rough estimate. Once I'm doing 11 or 12,000 a day, I can, 11 or 12,000 a day, I'll count it as 10 and be happy with it. Pardon me. When I read my thing, it seems to say we've been on for 55 minutes. Is that right, or am I reading that wrong? I wonder if somebody doesn't mind just looking and letting me know. I'll try to remember to put the uptime command so that we can use that, because the treadmill, I didn't reset it, so it didn't start the time. I have no idea how long we've been on. Hey Siri, remind me tonight at 8 p.m. to set the uptime command. And that's something you can just type in with the exclamation mark, like link here, but it'll tell you how long you've been streaming for. Thank you, Corinne's Life. So now I can measure. There's a clock on the treadmill. I just didn't reset it before. But I got to, I did this pretty late, so I got to hop off so that I can stop sweating by the time we get to tuber chat. Takes a while. Takes a long time. I basically got to sit for half an hour before I can even shower. Otherwise, I'll shower and still be sweating. After a few more weeks, that won't happen anymore, I'm sure. When I'm a little more used to this. But I've been dormant for a while now. The outdoor work that I do calms down towards the end of the year, so it's less hard work and less hours of actual work as opposed to driving and prepping and stuff like that when the months get cold, right? Like November and December. The last 2 years, I don't think we worked in December, but this year we did, almost right up to the last week before Christmas. But other than that, I sit right at a computer. So if you can imagine, that increases over November and December. Even if it's only by an hour or two, it matters. And then all I'm doing is sitting for 4 months. So that's what also prompts a bit of this. But the stream makes it motivating, so I appreciate everybody coming in, because that's what's making it easy to show up every day. It's not the treadmill as much as the stream that I'm here for. And then thank you, Corinne's Life. Thank you, everybody. Gabriella might do fish for lunch. Thought about fasting again. I haven't been motivated to do that. My friend did it the other day, but apparently the trouble with that stuff is it's easier when somebody does it with you. I did it once for 3 days. Nothing but water or coffee, right? So I expect to maybe do it again sometime. I just wanted to know what it was like. It really wasn't for any other motivation than that. Didn't make too much of a big deal about it or anything. But, you know, when you're doing things like that, you gotta think about doing it with people you trust, because it's very easy for somebody to say, oh, I'm gonna go on fast for 4 days, and then all of a sudden the 4th day comes along and they're like, oh no, it's easy, not even hungry, not thirsty, nothing. And you're like, all right, I know you're lying. You must have ate or drank something, because I'm literally starving. When I did it for 3 days, by the end of the 3rd night, I was hoping to do it for 4 days, but I didn't. By the end of the 3rd night, it's not that I was starving, it's that all I could think about is, what am I gonna eat on Tuesday morning? So it was Sunday night, and I laid there, watched TV, I went to the computer again and laid staring at the ceiling, and it wouldn't stop. So I just got up and had some toast and said that's good enough. And oh, that's yeah, I don't know if that might not be trolling, I'm not sure. But those kind of things, when we specifically get into that talk, you can get a stream shut down. But I will tell you this, I don't divulge medical information to anybody except my doctor. But that's funny, right? Somebody comes in the chat and that's the first thing they say. I've had a couple people on me now. I put up a video a couple weeks ago that was a song by an artist named Jennifer Hudson. And there's a comment, it got held for review automatically. But this guy went off about how I'm so fake and I lie about who I am and everything else. Like, dude, that was a remix I did while I was working in that industry in 2008. So I certainly, you know, everybody's got their own opinions and beliefs and everything else, but I definitely don't consider myself an extremist on either side. So Corner Clubhouse, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. Anthony Michaels, good to see you here. That's right, Jaden. Jeff will do 12-hour beers and cheers next week, or this week. He probably already set it up. I didn't look. Okay, thank you everybody for being here. I'm gonna hop off. We'll cut it right at the 60-minute mark, basically. I did take off for a minute, but we've already made that up. And then we'll see everybody soon enough. And I got 2 more streams today. So thanks everyone. And I really do appreciate it because you keep me motivated to show up every day, or every day that we're doing this. Oh, here we go. I can't stop the stream. Trying to hit the buttons on Streamlabs when I'm on the treadmill is not the easiest thing in the world. I keep flicking everything all over the place here. But thank you everybody. See you soon.